Okay, so the shaila is wearing a yarmulke. Is it a chiv or a minhag? It's a big discussion. Like a lot of times you see people, they say it's not. You don't really have to do it. It was actually funny. One time I was doing a Siyum, Mr. Lulav over Sukkot by Brighton Beach by the boardwalk. I was walking around. I saw someone. Like I went over to him and like I paused for a second. Like he was biking. He was sitting on the bench like with those tight biking shorts and those tight shirts. So no yarmulke, but a big beard, and he had a shtickle face. So I was confused. Like I paused for a second. And, like he saw me pausing. He's like Darich. He tells me he got a heter from his rabbi that when he's biking, he doesn't have to wear his yarmulke because it falls off. So
what about the helmet? You need to have a helmet. A written one?
What?
Written?
I don't know what kind of rabbi he had. I don't know.
If you go on a bicycle, you need to have a helmet. What kind of rabbi is this?
After you teach us the truth from the Torah, I'll tell you my own research into this child. You come first.
So I thought I was I don't know what type of rabbi he had. I don't think that's a very good reason to be makel, but there's another really nice story. They say that's about this nice story about the Rebbe that when he was a kid, he was walking somewhere by the water, and some older yid who wasn't too from told him like the Rebbe's wearing a big yarmulke. I know it's hot. And he told me, Kindle, it's hot outside. Why don't you take off your yarmulke? So that way, as a kid, he told him, "You're not allowed to. You have to wear a yarmulke." So he told him, "Don't worry, it'll be on my achrais. I'll take the punishment." So the Rebbe told him, "What's the difference? What's the difference? Who's getting punished?"
Oh, he didn't want any yid to get punished. The Rebbe.
Yeah, who gets punished?
Then
both things. First, who doesn't matter who gets punished, and who doesn't matter if there's a punishment. You're supposed to wear yarmulke. Who's worried about the punishment?
All right, the question today, is it a minhag or a chiyuv? Does that you have to do?
The Rebbe Rashab in Tam Chetmim, when he started yeshiva, he told the bochum to sleep at night with the yarmulke at night. And if a bocher, the yarmulke fell from his coat at night when he's sleeping, the next morning he'll call him and start and talk with him. You don't have Yiras Shamayim.
The next morning what?
You'll talk to him and he say, you don't have Yiras Shamayim. If your yarmulke fall while you're sleeping, you don't have Yiras Shamayim.
You know, there's a story. I saw this many years ago, that when the Satmar Raz, whatever, was very, very young, he would sleep with a kippah, and even though he was sleeping, when it would fall off, he would put it back on.
Here we go.
Have you ever heard that?
It's a lot of stories. Rav Kook had the kappa from the Tzemach Tzedek, and this is what they say. I don't know. And when he was a kid, I don't know, his mother maybe he had some relation family, so also he was sleeping with it, and if it fell off in the middle of the sleep, he would put it back on. Well, that's what they say. Well, I know.
Right,
so let's get started with the shir.
I'm going to be quiet. Till the end, then
so
I'll
the
say
first,
my piece.
There's two papers, which I think someone only took one. So the shaila. So the first Gemara which talks about a yarmulke is there's a main Gemara which everyone quotes is a Gemara in Kedushin. The first one I'm looking on the paper. The Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Asla Adam sheyahalich arba amis became as a kufa. It's also for a person to walk 4 amis with your back straight, with your head up in the air like a haughty person. It's also you're not allowed to walk like that. Why? The whole world is filled with Hashem's glory. How could the whole world is filled with Hashem's glory? How could you walk around like a haughty person? So here it's clear. This is Isser. You're not allowed to walk like that. So the question is, how do you understand the next part? Next part, the Gemara says, Rav Huna breided Rav Yeshua, li maski arba amis begili harash. So Rav Huna breided the son of Rav Yeshua, he would not walk 4 amis with his head uncovered. Why? Amar Shechina l'mayla meireshi. The Shechina is on top of me. The Eibush is on top. How can I walk around with my head uncovered? At a humbleness, you keep something. You keep your head covered.
What's the difference if Shechina maloishi or melokolos kvoidik?
What's the difference?
This pasuk. It's not a pusuk, it's a
Yeah,
nevra.
it's saying why are you covering dafka your head? It's the Eibush is on top of you. You keep a reminder. I hear. I don't know why we dafka bring a different. Why couldn't we bring the same pasuk for both? I don't know. But so the question is, so the first din, you're not allowed to walk with your back with a kaimos kufa. That's clear. That's the isser. The second is the question is, what's about the second din over here? It says Rav Huna Reida Yeshua will not walk 4 amos without his head uncovered. So it doesn't. On one hand, you could say that it's also an isser, just like we said before, or maybe not. It doesn't tell you that it's isser.
Maybe he took a homework by himself. He wasn't masi.
Oh, so that's what the Bach. So the Bach understands like that. Look in the second Maramakim. The Bach says, "V'chein mashma mi dekamar Rav Huna." So too is mashma from Rav Huna said, "Le'ozil arba amis begili harosh." He says he would not walk 4 amos with his head uncovered. Alma, it seems, la'achrini, for someone else. So leikam is dari bachi. It seems like other people weren't careful about this. It was something unique about Rav Huna B'rei Rav Yeshua, that was something he would do. But not that everyone else would do. The im haya isser b'davar, because if it was taka asur, have a leimar asur lahalich begili harosh. If it was taka isser to walk without a yarmulke,
Like Rabbi Binyamin Kriegsman.
just like in the beginning we said it's also to walk with your head up in the air, so too it just said it's also to walk with your head uncovered. But the fact that he didn't say this, it's mashma that it's not also. It's only 2 pages. It's
He took upon himself not to
he took upon himself. It's something extra that he did.
Right.
This is how the Bach understands like this, and a lot of places understand like this also.
The Taz says, I think, the Lashon Minhag Kaddish.
Oh, so we're going to see there's 3 potential problems that could come up with having your head uncovered. First of all, is there isser just of having your because Hashem is above you? Is there isser to have your head uncovered just because of the Gemara here that you have to have your head covered because Hashem is above? Then the second thing you have to figure out is there isser of dressing like the goyim, and the third thing is there a problem of tznius? So right now we're going to start with the first problem. With the first thing, is there a special mitzvah or isser to walk with your head uncovered? With that, well, soon we'll get to the other possible issues.
What does the tznius come in here?
Oh, so we're gonna get to that afterwards. First, we're gonna start just with the essential din of wearing a yarmulke with any of the without the side points. So the Bach understands.
When
that
did it start, the yarmulke?
When did it start?
Yeah.
I don't know. The first makar we have is of Rav Yeshua.
Was that before the Gemara time, most of the people walk with yarmulke? I mean, like, when the yarmulke
I
start?
don't know. You know, they say, how do you know Moshe Rabbeinu wore a yarmulke? Moshe Rabbeinu walk without a yarmulke.
You covered his horns.
It's with a matzvah. Yeah, I don't know. The first makar we have that I know of is over here. It could be this time they also cover their heads.
You don't like that.
So the third.
You're saying mistama, but
What?
from the sources, I
I'm
think that's
letting
not
the
indicate
rabbi say
mistama.
his piece. I'll tell you later.
You say mistama.
But
From the sources it indicates not mistama. From the sources it indicates that only certain people did it. Minhag Hasidut. Not mis.
Oh, we're gonna see. We're gonna see about that.
Okay, no,
The first source we have is from Rav Huna. Yes. So now, there's a second proof that's cited that it also seems from there that wearing yarmulke is only a special minhag, and it's only a special schus. In third Maramakim, there's a Gemara in Shabbos Kufiyad Chesam Beis. The Gemara says, Amar Rav Huna, Breid Rav Yeshua, Teiseli, it's coming to me, I have this great schus, the Leisagina Arba Amis Begili Arash. Again, Rav Huna Breid Rav Yeshua says he has this great schus that he never walked Dalet Amis without his head covered. Omar Rav Sheshes, well, let's have a pause there. So he says he has a big schus that he never walked with his head uncovered. So everyone pulls out this Gemara and they say, if there's an isser, if the halacha is that everyone has to walk with their head uncovered, well, what's the greatest schus that he has? What's the big schus? He's doing what he's supposed to do.
It's like saying, I walk with tzitzis the whole day. You have to go with tzitzis.
It's shekayach.
Exactly.
So it's all not.
What
Not really.
is a mitzvah in the Torah. Come
You're
on.
talking about mechuyev. Tzitzis, you're not mechuyev to wear it the whole day. Make her a day.
No, if you wear
It's
a
a
beged,
special schus.
if you wear a beged, then make it a
It's one of the Taryag mitzvahs.
No, the
Yeah,
Torah
so-
said if you wear a beged, then put tzitzis to it.
Yeah,
so
but
you don't want to walk with a
So
beged.
taka is a big schus.
Yeah.
I want to walk without a
Big
beggar.
cells take
Good.
No, but it says if you have to, it says a thing that I once learned with Rabbi Morozov, a Lashon. All right, maybe it's in Zaire, but you have to wear. Okay, but I'm just saying, how can you compare a couple? It doesn't. The tzitzis is one of the
Yeah,
mitzvahs.
but even with tzitzis, you
No,
don't
but
have
the
to wear it all day
says
long.
if you wear a beggar, then put
That could
tzitzis
also
in
be a
it.
schus.
A schus. Okay, fine.
So this is a second proof that's cited for saying that where it seems that wearing a yarmulke is only a minhag. There's the Ramah and a lot of places in Taki go with this derech. We'll see soon. However, there's the Beis Yosef understands that it's an isser, that it is an isser to walk without a yarmulke. And the Tzemach Tzedek has in the Piskei Dinim he has a long arichas where he writes very very strongly that it's an isser. You have to have your head covered.
Beis Yosef says that you must have it.
Yeah, that you must.
Sfardim doesn't have a
It's
yarmulke.
Sfardim?
Yeah. Sfardim walk around without a yarmulke all day long.
I don't know. The Beis Yosef.
When they bench, when they eat, they take out the yarmulke from the pocket to put it on. They come to shul, they put it on.
In the Beis
Otherwise,
Yosef, he writes the Beis Yosef writes that it's an isser. I don't know.
Maybe it's in their achrayna. It could be their what's the shaylish mode. It could be the later posting.
Here, I don't know. I'll show you the Beis Yosef.
they keep it in the pocket. When they go to the restaurant to eat, they put it on.
I don't know.
Or
I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll show you the Beis Yosef.
Yosef says,
What the Yakisha people also did
so-
that
right?
in Europe. I mean, he had still.
So the Piskei Dinim.
Why you people have told me that their rebbes gave them a heter not to wear kippah at work, etc. I haven't. I heard that a number of years ago.
So we're gonna get there.
That's
We're
what
gonna
we're
get
looking
there.
into. Okay.
What's
So
the
there's
my Hirsch was matter.
There's a-
Why the boys wear yarmulkes?
Why don't lawyers?
That's a joke.
No.
So now let's see. There's the Piskei Dinim from the Tzemach Tzedek. He says that both these proofs are not good proofs from these Gemaras. Why? He says two very nice things. He says one. He says First of all, he says that when he said what was the first thing he said? It says that it seems that he had a special schus that he didn't walk Dalet Amos without a yarmulke. So the big schus is that he didn't walk more than Dalet Amos, but walking, meaning even within Dalet Amos, he always kept his yarmulke on him. But for it to go further than Dalet Amos, that's Aser L'chol Hadiyas. He says that if it's a complete to walk without a yarmulke is for sure more than 4 Amos is for sure Isser. The Gemara when Rav Huna ben Yavshi was saying he has a big schus, it means that he even less than Dalet Amos he never went without a yarmulke. And let's read inside the fourth Maramokin. Tzemach Tzedek says, "L'anias daiti." It seems to me that af kimash amar Rav Huna zehu midas chasidus. When he said that this is a midas chasidus, hainu shafiu Dalet Amos halach b'gilui yarash, meaning he didn't even walk Dalet Amos with his head uncovered, and that was a midas chasidus. Avaleshiv's man b'gilui yarash, but to sit for a long time with your head uncovered, yishleimar asher medina kamish kazal kaimis of zayin. That we could say is for sure is a isser. When did Rav Huna say that? It was when did he say Teisi Li that he has this big schus? When you're talking about within 4 Amos, within those 4 Amos, but further than that is an isser midina. There's a second thing that also the Tzemach Tzedek we just read right now is that a lot of times you think that the isser walking without a yarmulke is only if you walk 4 Amos. If you're sitting in one place, there's some place that Rashal, there's some chashav places say sitting in one place is not no problem. Sitting in one place without a yarmulke. The isser is only if you're walking. The Tzemach Tzedek over here teaches that no, when we say this, you're not allowed to go 4 Dalet Amos without a yarmulke. That 4 Amos is not a amount in space. It's a amount in time. The amount of time it takes to walk 4 Amos, you're not allowed to sit for that amount of time with your head uncovered. For a second, you take off your yarmulke. Yeah, but to sit there for a long amount of time it takes to walk Dalet Amos, that is usher. That's
How much time would that be?
I don't know how long does it take to walk 5
1
feet.
second.
A minute?
1 second.
Dalet Amos.
1
Like
second.
5 feet. How long does it take to walk 5-6 feet?
1 second.
Not too long. A second. 2 seconds. So that's the chiddush of the Beis Yosef here. And Basically, it goes on further. Also, from the Gemara, we say he has a big zechus that he never walked down without a yarmulke. He says you also can't bring a proof from there because look at the rest of the Gemara in the third round of Machim. After the Gemara says Teisi li the leis haginu dal amas begili rosh, I wouldn't go down amas if my head uncovered. But then the Gemara continues. Amar Rav Sheish says Teisi li the kaimis mitzvahs tefillin. I have this big zechus I did was my kind of mitzvahs tefillin. Amar Rav Nachman Teisi li the kaimis mitzvahs tzitzis. So if you're going with this line, that I have a big schus is only a midas chasidus, what does that mean? I'm saying tefillin and tzitzis is a chiyuv, it's a daraisa. What do you mean the big schus? It says elamai, look Rashi.
Tefillin, you might be talking about people wearing tefillin all day.
Oh, so someone said they look in Pirush Rashi. Rashi says, what was the big schus? The big schus was that he wore his tefillin all day long. He wouldn't go down the amos without his tefillin. And so to his tzitzis, he wouldn't walk down the amos without his tzitzis. So he says the same thing over here with the yarmulke, when he's saying that Teisi li, that he wore his yarmulke, meaning that even Dalar Ames, even only Dalar Ames, he made sure he had his yarmulke on his head. That was the midas chasidus. But to walk more than Dalar Ames, or to sit for an amount of time more than Dalar Ames, that's usher. That's not a grace of schus. That's medina. And let's read inside the second paragraph in the fourth Maramakim. Well, Ani Estaiti ain't shum raya mishan. You can't bring any proof from there. The hak high gavna mamish amar sham, because mamish the same thing we say over there in the Gemara that Teisi li the kaimis mitzvahs tefillin mitzvahs tzitzis that guy the big schus I did the mitzvahs tefillin and tzitzis. Or Pirush Rashi, and how could it be? What's the big schus you wore tzitzis? You have to. Rashi explains like halach dalar amis blei tefillin. The big schus I didn't walk more than dalar amis without tefillin. The chein linian tzitzis he didn't walk more than with tzitzis more than dalar amis. The imkain, if so, hanemer leichiach mized l'shar inshi ein mitzvah klal aniach tefillin v'tzitzis. If so, you're going to tell me because he says it's schus that other people don't have a chiyah to put on tzitzis or to wear tefillin. Because it says he has a big schus, he didn't work for Amos. That's for Amos, but everyone has to wear tzitzis and tefillin.
Nobody has to wear tzitzis. You don't have to.
If you have a baker with four corners,
okay,
you have to. That's what he's being.
If they learn in the Torah, it seems even at the time of the Torah, it was not common for people to wear the arbor conflict, the tzitzit all the time.
Yeah, but he's saying
even so late.
Right, he's bringing out the point that someone has a beggar with four corners. You have to. They have to wear.
It was not necessary. Even as late as time of the Torah, it was not a common thing like it is today.
Okay, could be. Yeah.
You just do it is to daven, and that's it.
Right. So he goes on. Elavante didn't Teisi li who was a hirus. It's just that he was very careful. Shalei halach hafil dalam amis blei tzitzis. That even for amis he would not walk without tzitzis. V'shayin shein is hankol kachaykav. Other people weren't so careful about it. He had a big schus. He did it. Same thing with the yarmulke. He had a big schus that he didn't walk. He wouldn't go down with amis. Yeah, but more than down amis is a isser medina. Says the Tzemach Tzedek. The next piece is another piece of Tzemach Tzedek where it's a very nice proof that you have to say that there's a chiyuv, that medina you have to wear yarmulke. He says, well, what's his proof? So he brings a proof from Birchas HaShachar. And one of the brachas we make is Baruch Atah Hashem, Oiter Yisrael b'Sifaro. Right? He crowns us. He crowns us with glory. So what do we have this hat. So what's this bracha for? Then we wear a hat, we cover our heads, and therefore we make a bracha that we have this chus, we cover our heads when we go outside.
The doctor brings a proof from there. Not only that you don't have to wear a yarmulke, but you can even sit Mazkir Shemayim without a yarmulke. Because according to the Seder of the Brachot in the Talmud, it's not the one that you have in the Seder room today. When the Seder of the Brachot in the Talmud is that as soon as you wake up, you don't say Modeh Ani, that's something which came much later. You say Elohai Neshama. And then you say, it's okay for 15, and it's etc. Only later, when you put something on your head, then you say Yisrael B'Tifarah. But before you did that, you said you were even saying Shemaim
without the yarmulke.
Yeah. That's the Gemara brings that. It's the Gemara brings this as a proof.
I hear. And listen what the Tzemach Tzedek brings out from here. He says if you're making a bracha on wearing a yarmulke, you have to say that it's a chiyuv.
Why?
If wearing a yarmulke is only a minhag, what are you making a bracha on? Not everyone wears it. If not everyone wore a yarmulke, how does everyone make a bracha in the morning? How does everyone go making a bracha on something which is only a minhag?
But wait, that's
Do we
a
make a
birchas,
bracha?
that's not birchas mitzvahs. That's a birchas shevach.
Right, but we don't make a bracha. We don't make a bracha on something which is only a minhag. Let's.
It's a chiyuv, not a minhag.
Yeah. Also, we'll see it inside the fifth Maramakim. The fifth Maramakim, the Sema Tzedek writes, so Fishe Sholahim HaMetzuvim Bekach, and since the Yidden are the ones that have the mitzvah to cover their heads, Kidei Shehei Meir Shemayim Aleim, or that we should have fear of Hashem, Anu Baruch Ma'itei Shal B'Sifara. And that's why we make the bracha Itei Shal B'Sifara. Im Kain, Kivin Shumavarech Al Zeh, V'adei Mitzvahum. If you're making a bracha on it, for sure it's a mitzvah. Teda, and he brings a proof. There's a big machlekes whether you're allowed to make a bracha on halal. On Reish Chodesh, because halal on Reish Chodesh is a minhag, and a lot of poskim say you can't make a bracha on something which is a minhag. Mishun the minhagahu, va'al minhag alei mevarchinon. The parak basa the tainis chasam beis ein sham. The tesis of Shulchan Aruch siman tavchav beis of beis. V'hachan over here mevarchin the kuli ama bracha zu. Everyone makes a bracha iteri shel b'sifara for wearing a yarmulke. V'hadei ein ish misol shel yimar halal Reish Chodesh.
It's not sheket shem mitzvah. It's a birchas shevach. How are you comparing it to halal? You say sheket shem mitzvah. You won't look across a halal. It's mamish ein hamashal daimel l'nidna. I mean, I don't get it. I don't see how could I ask such a thing. Look at that.
You're saying this is
it's totally incomparable.
You're saying one is a birchas mitzvahs, one is a birchas
you say this is in the morning birchas shevach. We say it all at once in shul. So the Rambam says you put your shoes on. You say shasli kotzarki. Whatever it is. But that's not a. It's not a birchas mitzvah. It's to put on your shoes.
But why were they sakin a shvach or something that is only a minhag? Not everyone does. I'm saying you make a bracha that you make a bracha that for the roosters and for everything, all those things happen every day.
Right.
But chacham are masakin to make a special bracha for a minhag of covering your head. Saying, maybe we should make a bracha for not eating a bracha on Pesach.
No.
For the shevach,
because Altar Yisrael b'Sefara, that the Eibishter, whatever that means, that he crowned the Jews with Tifara, that's a birchas shevach. Today we rattle off all the 15 brachas in shul when we get to school, but it was assigned originally to an action of the morning that it fits, like the Rambam to put on the shoes, shasli called sarki, because if you don't have shoes, you can't go outside, you can't do nothing. So it's
still.
So they made it that to say that birchas shevach to connect it to when you put on a couple, But that has nothing to do. I mean, it's.
Yeah, but it's
all right, maybe there's some svarm they'll ask this.
I hear, but it's still. I still think it's a bit funny to say that just for a minhag, which could be not everyone even did, that they made a special bracha to praise Hashem for this minhag. I don't know. There's a lot of minhag. Why did they pick this minhag? We make a bracha. Iza shall be gavura, right? That we put on a belt for a gartel. That's the din. You have to wear a gartel to be mafsek between your heart and your erva.
It's a minhag. It's also, again, it's a minhag. It's not a chiyuv.
It's a chiyuv.
No, it doesn't. A gartel is not a chiyuv.
A gartel is a chiyuv to be mafsek between.
It doesn't say no word that you have to wear a gartel.
The thing about the
could be some people say nowadays
it's just a belt to keep it to keep your pants up
but people say it could be people say nowadays it's different. But Shulchan Aruch says you have to wear a gartel before you daven.
The Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so the Shulchan Aruch, they didn't wear shirts and trousers like we wear. They used to wear these like you see the Arabs wear, like the Hakim, and they used to wear a sash on top of it.
But still,
so that's what
right. But the point I'm bringing out is that you see when they made the bracha of putting on a belt, Yisrael Gevura was on something which was a chiyuv. It wasn't just a minhag. It was something which is a chiyuv. So I think similarly, it's not so like it's saying that when they make a bracha for wearing a yarmulke, wasn't just for minhag or something else. A chiyuv. The sifara. What is that talking about? That we cover our heads.
So, but you don't make a bracha because of the yarmulke.
But that's what the bracha is about. That when we cover our heads, that we have this chos of covering our heads and having your shalayim.
But today, when we say the shul, right? So what do you do? The minhag is.
Chabad said in the house.
Okay, but I'm saying, let's say me. I say it in shul. What's the minhag of Yidden? So when they say Bigvura, they touch the Tefillin Shel Yad. And when they say Bis Eiter Shel B'Sfarad, they touch the Tefillin Shel Rosh.
But we do these brachas before tefillin.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what people do. So I'm saying, in other words, the bracha is a bracha that Hashem gave to whatever that means, B'Gvura and B'Sefara. But we saying the bracha in a time we're showing something like to connect it to
You
something.
see how the places is in the place we see that it's referring to the kisvei hareish. It's not referring to the tefillin. And another thing, there's another very nice word the Beis Yosef says. He says, and according to the Beis Yosef is bothered by this question, how could you make a bracha if you're not obligated to wear it? So the problem is, what's the Ramah, right? The Ramah, and a lot of the places paskin that it's only a minhag. So what are they going to say? How are they going to explain that? Why do you make the bracha? So he explains, even though there's no isser according to them, but there's a mitzvah. Even though there's no isser wearing a yarmulke, but it's not still. You can't say it's just a minhag. It's a mitzvah. There's the
No, if you do, you get schar. But
there's a special mitzvah.
You mean a mitzvah kiyum,
Look in
it's
the
not a
last,
mitzvah chiyuv,
the third
it's-
paragraph in the fifth Maramakim. Al Kopanim Harabi Seisa B'Simon involves really the Asr Leidach Begili Harosh. He says it's Asr. Ba'afla Cholkim, even according to the Shittas that are Chilek, mitzvah. Even according to them, it's a mitzvah. But Ramah Gamkein Yefsher Shiach, like even the Ramah who doesn't say it's who says there's no Isser, he Yefsher Shiach like the mitzvah. You can't argue and say that it's not a mitzvah. Me'ach Shem Mevarchen Al Zeh Berchas Eitrisol. Since you make a bracha Eitrisol B'Sifara, the Savasada has a big chiddush. You want to see, even according to the Ramah who says that there's no Isser, still there's a mitzvah. It's a special thing, and it's a special mitzvah to wear a yarmulke. Even though you're not even on an Isser if you don't do it, but it's a special mitzvah of wearing a yarmulke. So, it's another nice word from the Samach Tzedek.
I myself, I had an observation which nobody else, to my knowledge, ever made before. Now, people who claim that it's that you're chayav to wear a head covering, it's because of Yirat Shamayim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Yirat Shamayim is a mitzvah say she'ein hazaman grama. So women are also chayav in that. And if that's the case, single girls also should have to wear yarmulkes.
I mean, they shouldn't just knit them. They should
And the fact that they don't, it's very simple, because you're not chayav to wear yarmulke. And just men makabeled it upon themselves. Women, single girls did not.
They also, the question of, first of all, married women cover their heads anyway.
They don't cover their head, they cover their hair. That's a different thing altogether.
But that counts as the yarmulke.
No, but it's not for Yirat Shamayim, it's because it's snoot.
But that
what
can't.
you're saying, I'll tell you a strange thing. I have in the house a Tillim, a Sfardish Tillim, put out by Sfardish Yeshiva, Mossad, whatever, and they have in the beginning halachas from one of Rabbi Yosef's sons. I don't remember if it's the one that's now the chief rabbi or another one. And he says a thing, I read it 3 times. I couldn't believe. He says that a lady, when she's davening, including a maidel that's not married, that's when they say tefillah or tillim, they should cover the hair. I never heard or such a thing, not by Sfardim and not by Ashkenazim, but he writes it in a paragraph like a Kovetz Dina.
Okay, but even he would agree. Even he agrees.
No, he's talking about davening.
She prays, yeah.
Right, it's about davening. But even so, I found it very unusual.
I hear.
But
interesting-
maybe it's
interesting
based on
how-
one of these things. I don't know.
Why did you say today you go to any girls' school and you see the girls davening, none of them put any kisei rosh?
No, I'm saying, to me it was muzar when I read this,
No, but I'm saying when you go to the
Let's
girls'
go-
school,
And by the
today,
Sfardim also.
A few more points we still need to get to.
I read it 3 times to make
There's
sure.
a few
I'm
more
getting
points
it
we
right.
still need to get to. There's
Okay.
another interesting Gemara in Kedushin, which when you're trying to bring proofs to figure out if it's a minhag or a din to wear yarmulke, you also have to address this Gemara. This Gemara, if you simple reading, it seems like it's a minhag. So in the 6th Maramakim in Kedushin, Chavtes Amud Beis, the Gemara has an interesting story out there. It says, "Mishtabeach li Rav Chisda Rav Huna, the Rav Hamnuna the Adam Gadol." That Rav Chisda was telling Rav Huna about Rav Hamnuna that he's a really great person. So Amar Alei, so Rav Huna told Rav Chisda, when he comes to you, have you liyadi, bring him to me. I want to see him. You're telling me he's such a great person. I want to see him for myself. He also, so when Rav Hamnuna came to him, Chazia delay parasudra, saw that he didn't have a covering on his head. He didn't have a sudra on his head. Amarli, my time prisa sudra. He says, why don't you have a kerchief or whatever?
yarmulke.
Why don't you have this covering on your head? Amarli delina sivna. He says, I'm not married. So Rashi explains over there that the minhag was they would start covering their heads after they were married. The men would start covering their heads after they were married. And the Omar Sadinu Api. So Rav Chisda turned his back to Rav Hamnuna. He didn't want to look at him. Meaning Omar Lei Chazid Lei Chazis Lehu Api Adinasivas. Make sure you don't make sure you don't see me again until you get married. Why? The Rav Huna L'Taimi, according to his reasoning, the Omar ben Esrim Shana V'lei Nasa Isha Kol Yom V'Avera. Rav Hamnuna was already past 20 years old, and Rav Huna would say someone who is past 20 years old and he's not married, Kol Yom all his days he's doing Averas. The Gemara says, V'Averas Lo Kadaitach. You think he's doing Averas his whole life? He says no. Elamina, rather say Kol Yom V'Hirver Avera. His whole life he's gonna be thinking about Averas if he's not married. So he's upset at Rav Hamnuna that he wasn't upset about not marrying yarmulke. He's upset that he's past 20 and he's still not married. And so what do we see from this Gemara? It seems like people would only start covering their heads when they were married. Before they were married, they wouldn't cover their head.
It's not really clear at all what that sudra business is at all.
So the basis says it's not talking about a yarmulke. It's not that for sure they all wore yarmulke. It was an extra covering they would put on after they were married.
Maybe like the kids wear a hat after their bar mitzvah.
Well,
a hat, like a kapelut. Like
or we'll get to it soon. Hang on, look in the 7th yarmulke.
Some people put tissues in the yarmulkes.
Tukisuim. It's called tukisuim. You know what tukisuim?
Yeah, let's see.
Yarmulkes usually these have already.
Right. Let's see the 7th yarmulke. The base is right. So pshita shaloya hayava churim hilchim begilya rosh mamish. Obviously, all the kids. You can't say the kids were going around there without yarmulkes. It was some extra talis or something on their head for tznius. Since this makes a person more humble, that's why they wore it. It was something extra for Yerushalayim. And by the way, the Magen Avraham actually writes this is the source for not for the hat, but I'm not sure. At least in Lavavish, when people go for the afruf, before they're married, people wear talis, so they don't cover their heads. Right? Is that?
It's only Ashkenazim.
Only by Ashkenazim?
Even Ashkenazim, only Eastern European Ashkenazim.
Eastern European.
Well, like the real Ashkenazim, in other words, the German Jews.
They
do.
They would cover their heads even before they got married. They cover their heads?
Yeah.
Are you sure they don't just put it on and they don't cover their heads?
Oh, that I don't know.
That's what he's saying. I know for sure by us, we don't wear talisim.
They don't cover their head.
We don't wear talisim before in Chabad. We don't wear talisim before we're bar mitzvah. But before the chasam, when you go for the Torah, you get a aliyah. We put on a talisim. We don't cover our heads. Right? When you go to the Torah, you wear a hat. You don't cover your head.
They wear a hat also.
You don't cover. You don't cover your head with the towels.
They put the towels by the mitzvah.
I'm not sure what's the minhag.
By the wedding.
Outside Lubavitch, people who wear talisim by the bar mitzvah, they cover their heads. I don't think they cover their heads.
Yeah, when they go to the Torah, they do cover their head.
With a hat, not with a
No, with the talis.
I don't know.
I was in the bar mitzvahs from non-Lubavitcher people.
By a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I've seen people who wear
Do they wear
talisim.
towels at all?
I've seen people. I see bar mitzvah who wear talisim.
Yeah.
Maybe only by the Torah when they were when they daven.
Sephardim, even pre-bar mitzvah kids wear a talit over their head.
No, they put like a scarf, not over the head.
No, look, it depends like who. I've seen it.
Yes, even little kid put it on the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, the Magen Avraham mentions that that we see from here, according to the basis of Taich, is a talis. This explains Minhag why we don't cover. I don't know about everyone. A lot of people don't cover their heads with the talis before they're married.
It's a good question. If it's such a good thing that it brings Machliya Leif Adam and Biol Yedei Rat Shemayim, why shouldn't he do it just because he's not married?
You see, once you're married, you need some extra helpings of Yerushalayim.
Today they take the yarmulkes.
You can say opposite. When you're not married, you need extra because when you are married, you're.
You could, but
Both ways. Both ways.
Yeah.
When they took the yarmulkes today and make it, I couldn't forget in Rosh Hashanah, you know, all these cool yarmulkes with all this design, all this. They take away the Yerushalayim.
Actually, the Rashal Shlomo Luria, he was the contemporary of the Ramah. So he also writes, he writes at length that he thinks that there's no isser that he thinks only minhag to a yarmulke. There's no isser, and he's very bothered that people took what the Gemara says is an isser of walking with like a haughty person, and what is a minhag covering your head. They switched it around. Everyone walks around like a haughty person, but they walk out, but they always make sure their head is covered. So they got it backwards. Covering your head is only a minhag, and stop walking around like that. So whatever, it was a cute piece. Finds the next the next thing that he argues with the Beis Yosef in the eighth Makim. He says, even though it's a mitzvah to listen to Beis Yosef and his pirushim, this is the Torah says you should cover your head, or the head shouldn't be uncovered. Who kipshutai? It's kipshutai that the Torah writes over there when you wear your talus, you should cover your head. So Beis Yosef says, so would they cover your head with a yarmulke or with a talus? So he says, Beis Yosef says it means with a talus. Obviously, you're already wearing a yarmulke. The Rama says no. It means you have to wear a yarmulke. Because if you're not wearing tzitzis, if you're not making a bracha, there's no isra to go with your head uncovered. Rak midas chasidus kamish gesati l'elsim and beis b'shem haram v'lochin kazer shasativa tzitzis tzarech nichsei seishing. And that's why the Torah says when you're putting on tzitzis, you're going to make a bracha. You have to make sure you're wearing. You have to make sure you're wearing a yarmulke. I don't have one here. So this is halacha is that you have a lot of big you have the Maran, you have some Rishonim who say clear that there's no isser, that it's only a minhag of wearing a yarmulke. On the other hand, you have for sure the you have the Samach Tzedek writes very sharp that it's an isser, and even according to the Rama, you want to say some mitzvah. But so it ends up it's a machlikas. The Alter Rebbe in the Shulchan Aruch he writes that it's a minhag wearing a yarmulke, but Samach Tzedek writes that it's an isser.
To go without the yarmulke.
To go without a yarmulke.
Not that you have to have a chiyuv for this, that you have a issue to go without it. But this is all regarding the etzem din of wearing a yarmulke. It's the issue of going without a yarmulke. But the Taz brings up that even if you want to say there is no special issur of having your head uncovered, he says there's another issur of uvechukei seichem leisei leichum. You're not allowed to copy the goyim, and you're not allowed to dress like the way the goyim dress. Right.
If so, since you're not allowed to dress like the goyim, you have to dress. Since you're not allowed to copy the goyim, memela to go around with your head uncovered, you're being over on the isur. Let's read the ninth Makim. We'll see the Taz inside.
How's that going in their way? It has to be like a positive thing. You're doing something. It can't be a negative thing. The fact that you don't do something
so,
is the focus of the
all
day.
right. I'll read in his words. Right, so the ninth Makim, he says, "V'nirali sheish isur gomer mitam acher." There's a complete isur in going without a yarmulke for a different reason. Dahainu kivan shechayk hu achshav bein ha'akum. Since there's a special law, there's a chayk by the goyim that she'oisin came tell me that they always do this. Take of sheyeshin perking alim hakeva. Right away when they sit down, they uncover their heads. The in kain zen nikva b'chva b'chutzkai sehem leisei leichum. And so this is included in the isra of not going in
do like that. Not that
because the goyim, since the goyim,
if the goyim would not do it, it would be no problem. But because the goyim do it, now you copy the goyim.
Yeah.
Because you're already wearing yarmulkes, so by not.
So you're right. Since the goyim have a special chayk, a special law that they always uncover their heads when they come inside and they sit down. That's why it's an issur of copying their ways.
I think when you go to
it's
court,
not only
it's
not only doing,
but they
it's not only putting on a type of clothes they wear. Also, if you're not wearing a type of clothes, they take off their hats every time they come inside. They dress in a certain way, so not, especially when all the Yidden wear dress in a certain way, and you do something different to be like the way they do.
I noticed that.
That's Isra B'chukei
It's interesting
But he says
that
they don't wear hats. Things that make it. That's still going like them. No, they go with their heads uncovered.
So Jimmy does that they take off.
They're saying they look chatchila don't wear hats.
Yeah.
To begin with.
no, but if you go, you see a bishop or a priest, you'll see that they wear kippot. They wear kippot. Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, yeah.
He's being over on the B'chukei Seichem Leisei Leichum. Shouldn't copy the other. The Pope is being
the
over.
Galochem in England go the head from the rabbis, you know.
Oh yeah,
Shabbos they can have.
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, really? They have a big
But
time?
no, but when they come inside, they take it off.
Fine, but outside,
They
it's the
dress.
the dress.
Yeah.
Also, and this is the din of the task. It's
They
very.
go, they go without him. That's the fun.
So it's a very- It's very strong din from the Taz. He says you could be over. Till now we're talking about it's Issa D'Rabbanan. According to the Taz, you could be being over on Issa D'Raisa, walking around without a yarmulke. Yeah, and Alter Rebbe adds on that that there's also Issa of Tznius. In the 10th Ma'amokim, Alter Rebbe writes. In the Madir Basra, the Alter Rebbe adds in, he says, "Va'achshav bizman hazeh shekulam dakam lichseis reishon." Since nowadays the derech is that all Yidden we always cover our heads, lo ilam always. It's also leilich. I feel leishay begidui harash. It's also to walk or even to sit in one place with your head uncovered. Why mishum tznius? Shaizek kemigali b'sari hamachusa. Just like you're not allowed to uncover parts of your skin which are normally covered because it's not tznius. So too, uncovering your head, that's a part of your body which is always covered. So uncovering it and walking around like that, that's not tznius. Tznius, there's a misconception. Tznius is also for men. Tznius is only a din for women. Men are you shouldn't walk around. You shouldn't walk around in shorts. You can't walk around without a shirt. You're a certain way. If it's not the derech, I don't know. Maybe some people say that it's the derech nowadays to wear shorts, but when you're walking around without a shirt, you're being that's also it's not tznius to walk around without a shirt.
I just want to make
So too, the Alter Rebbe says with the yarmulke, it's not tznius. If all you didn't walk around with their head covered, to walk around with your head uncovered.
You see, be careful when you say all you can do it. That's a very loaded statement, which is patently false.
Covering wearing a yarmulke, I think I think there's absolutely no problem saying that it's a minhag all Yidden cover their heads with a yarmulke. It's the majority of the Yidden. People
You're talking about normal people. You're not talking about the general.
This is how Yidden dress. There are Yidden that don't wear tefillin.
Like I said in Best Torah, you see people that they're Shomer Shabbat, they're kashrut, the wives go to the mikveh, everything, but you see them, they come to shul on Shabbat with the yarmulke in the pocket, they put it on and go into shul, and when they go...
They come on Shabbos with the yarmulke in their pocket?
No, they have yarmulkes in the door.
They have their own area. The Syrians have their
Not in
own area.
Shabbat.
But I say, but wearing walking around with a yarmulke,
Why did they do that?
It's very strict.
walking around with the yarmulke is a minhag that was accepted by all
I don't know.
Yidden.
I don't want to get involved.
It's not acceptable.
It's not the truth.
You'll always find someone who doesn't do something. You'll always find something, but the majority of the Yidden was accepted that we all walk around with the yarmulkes. The majority of the Yidden was accepted that we walk around with the yarmulkes.
Midwood is, I think, about 80 or 90% Jewish. Now, how many Jewish men?
I still think
who go bareheaded.
I agree. You could find a large amount of people do, but I still think 100% that the majority of from Yidden walk around with their heads covered.
It depends.
What does from mean?
Majority. The majority of people who keep Torah mitzvahs walk around with a yarmulke.
I don't know if that's the
It
case.
depends
How
on the mass and where they work.
many mitzvot do you have to keep?
People have
You're using terminologies which are not well defined. From is not.
People who are shamer people who keep shulchan aruch. People who keep shulchan aruch. The majority of the people they all wear a yarmulke.
I don't know.
I think that's how you measure
Wait,
I think that's how you measure.
I want to make two ha'aras. First of all, I just want to point out that the opposite of tznius is not necessarily pritzis. The opposite of tznius could be gaiva. Like these clothes, it says big day shachatz, right? In other words, like, so when a person goes without a couple, it's like sort of a gaiva maybe to go in gilu rosh. I'm saying, I'm not relating it to the Indian of tznius, like walking around without your shirt, which is like it's a different Indian. It's whatever, it's tznius of to cover up and all of that. But that's number one. The other thing I want to say is the truth is there are people that always wear a couple wherever they are. And I have a nephew. He's a big corporate guy. He always wears. He never takes off his couple. However, there are people who have big jobs and they can't wear it. They can't wear it.
That's baloney. That's baloney.
It's not baloney. First
So-
of all, in England, it's for sure true.
I'm talking about
There's-
America.
In
They respect
America-
you more if you wear yarmulke.
That's what you
Wait,
said.
wait, let's
okay?
finish. So-
I was in bank.
So when it comes to the question of for
I
your
wore a
job,
couple. I had a little
when it comes to
job.
the question if you could take up
Even
your
if you're a CEO,
yarmulke
you
for
wear a yarmulke.
Was a
parnasa
big
related
guy.
reasons, so seemingly if you say it's only a minhag,
my
then
friend
for a
Jay?
minhag you could be lenient. Seemingly you could be lenient if it's a makkah in Hefsis, and there's a makkah and it takes away from your parnasa. Seemingly you could be lenient and take it off. But if you say there's an isser of tznius, and if you say there's an isser, it could be isser deraisa, there is no makkah to be lenient, even if it to be even isser deraisa to take off your yarmulke. So how are people lenient? There's a shuvah from a Moshe. I accidentally quoted the wrong piece over here. I don't have it over here. I'll say it outside. He says that he gets it. What? I don't have it. I quoted the wrong piece, and he says that he wants to say that the din of the Taz doesn't apply anymore. Why he wants to say that? When is it Isra b'chukei Yisayim say leichem not to copy the goyim? Only if they're doing something because of their avodah zarah. The Taz says that there's a chik. He wants to say the reason they didn't wear their hats is because the derech of the avodah zarah was according to their religion was that you should have your head uncovered. Right when you come in, their humility was from uncovering their heads. So that was the derech of their avodah zarah. But he says nowadays most of the people who go around with their heads uncovered has nothing to do with their because of that's their avodah zarah. They just don't wear yarmulke. It has nothing to do with religious reasons. The fact that they go around with their head uncovered. He says back then they were uncover their heads. It was for a religious purpose. So therefore, there's isra b'chukei Yisayim leisei leichem. But nowadays, that it's not for a religious purpose. It's just that's how people go around. So Ramesh wants to say that there is no isser. There is no isser of b'chukei Yisayim leisei leichem. So that's what Ramesh says. I'm not sure. I didn't get.
Then it's not
He wants to say there's no isser nowadays. So that depends. You have to bring up the question. What the question is? What is the isser b'chukei Yisayim leisei leichem? Is it only something which is avodah zarah related, copying something which they do for avodah zarah purposes, or maybe anything, any copying any culture of the goyim is already being over on isser b'chukei Yisayim leisei leichem. So this
today
is
the opposite. When you go to Manhattan to a lot of hospitals, a lot of doctors, big doctors, they're not religious, not Shemesh Shabbos and this, but they don't work with yarmulke. They're proud of it. Punkt verkehrt.
Oh, really?
also there.
A lot.
I just met a guy. He's not religious at all. He works in nursing homes. He goes to work. He puts on a yarmulke for work.
Yes.
For-
Same thing we said.
Right?
So there's a very nice piece, a very nice shuvah from the Ber Moshe. Someone wrote to him the same question: if he is not going to be able to get a job with a yarmulke, could it be makel to take off his yarmulke? So look in the fourth Maramakim. He writes beautifully.
What number?
14, the 14th Maramakim on the last page. He says he shafti alpi how I answered this person. He's telling you after the story already happened. He's writing down what happened. What happened? He says he shafti alpi halacha. He told him alpi halacha ish makim lahater. True, there is makim to be makel to take off your yarmulke. Avlat sasi, but my eitz is shebavade leila kaval mishrazu. If you only get this job with taking off your yarmulke, for sure you should not accept this job. Why? Uncovering your head brings you to frivolous. It takes away from your Shemayim. Ula hefkerus. The yiftach b'Hashem. You should trust in Hashem. Sheyatmi le parnasasei beheter. He'll bring you your parnasa in a way you don't have to do any yisurim. V'loi be'isser. So he says, and what happened? He says, Kibbul Dvarai, this person listened. V'esas Hashem, Yisparech Achei Zeh Matzah Mokim Parnasa Yeshetei Merishin. And he found a better job than the first one. So there's two discussions. For one discussion, it's Afi Halacha, is there may room to be makel taking off your yarmulke? Is there Issa Deraisa? So that's a risky thing over there. And even if you want to go with the derech of that you could be makel, but you have to think about again. What are you trying to play around? You think you can't get your parnasa within your yarmulke. You think the Eibush is giving you everyone parnasa. You think because you put on a yarmulke, the Eibush is going to take away from your parnasa. What's going on up here? We have to have our head on straight. Someone who doesn't have such a strong betachin, so Relation has a heter for him.
Forget about yarmulke. A lot of people years ago, you don't work Shabbat, get out.
Yeah.
Not yarmulke.
Yes.
You have to work in Shabbat. Forget about yarmulke.
So besides the halacha problem, there's a huge hashkafa thing over here. Where's the money coming from? The money is coming from your boss, or it's coming from the Eibush there? And you have to think where's our betachin. There's a beautiful story I heard. I heard of Hashem the Ruzhner, if I remember correctly, that there was a few of his Hasidim were returning from after spending the Shabbos, with the Rushner, and they were on a hunt, and they were very excited. There was one of their friends was a very simple person. He didn't understand too much. And he was also in a very high spirit after coming back. So they're curious, what was he excited about? He didn't understand too much. So they asked him what happened. So he says, at the end of Shabbos, I went into the Rushner, and he asked me, what's my schedule? What do I do? So he says, I told him that whatever I wake up in the morning, I do my business, I collect the money I owe from the people, and then I come home. And I do what I need to do. So he asked him, when do you daven? He says, after I come home, that's when I daven. So he says, but you're supposed to daven first thing in the morning. Why are you going to do your business first? He says, whatever, if I don't go first, they're going to leave. How am I going to find them? How am I going to, if I need to go there first thing if I want to get the money? So he told him, well, let me tell you a story. He says there was once a Yid who was traveling. And he made a big earnings. He had a chest full of gold, full of coins. And Shabbos was coming. He couldn't carry it with him, but he had to keep walking. So he stopped by an inn, and he asked the innkeeper, "Can I leave my chest of money with you, and I'll come back soon. Well, when I'm on my way back, I'll pick it up from you. Can I trust it with you?" So he says, "Sure." So he gave him his coin. So it was a chest full of gold coins, and he also had like a copper coin in there. So on his way back, he comes back to the innkeeper, and the innkeeper gives him his chest of coins. He opens up, all the gold coins are there, but he doesn't see the copper coin. So he's looking, and until he finally finds the copper coin on the bottom. And the Pharis is looking at him like a fool. He tells him, "All your golden coins are over there. You think I took your copper coin?" So that's the mashal. The Rosh Hashanah wasn't nimshal. He says every single day the Eibusher gives you a neshama. He gave you life. Every single day He's making you live. Every single second He's recreating you. He's giving you everything you need. You go to sleep at night. He takes your golden coin. He takes your neshama. And He gives it back to you. Every day He gives you your life. And He gives you your neshama every day. He gives you your life. And you're worried that maybe He's not going to give you food. Maybe He's not going to give you parnasa. Your little copper coin you're nervous about. How am I going to get that? So the Eibusher gives you life every day. He gives you everything else. He'll give you your parnasa. Enough zayking. You could daven first thing in the morning and then go to work. So I'll tell us there when it comes to the shaila, could you be makel to take off your yarmulke for parnasa reasons? So there's a halacha discussion. Is it permitted? Is it not? They're placing their matter. They're placing that eraser. But the second thing is where is our betachin? What are we? Is this taking off our yarmulke? Is that what brings us more parnasa? Is that where the parnasa comes from? What's going on over here? And there's a Bavitcher of Al Tshuva. He's in Crown Heights. He's a principal of a public school now. He took over a public school. He made a whole machecha over there
in the Bronx.
Wernicker.
In the Bronx.
Not Dr. Ladd.
Wernicker. He's a very powerful personality. So he's actually very close with the chancellor.
But he actually was the yarmulke.
So with the chancellor. So there's pictures of him with the chancellor. He's there. He has his hat, his jacket, his tzitzis.
Is that the black guy? There's
No.
Black guy.
He's not black.
From a guy.
No, he's a Chabadnik.
Principal.
He's a white.
He's from one of these Spanish countries. I remember. But you see him. He's a principal in public school. He comes here with his hat, his jacket. He doesn't get intimidated. You don't have to get intimidated. You can be with a guy. You can do everything you need to do with your hat, your jacket, especially your yarmulke. You don't need to worry. You don't need to die. The Eibusher takes care of everyone. He'll give you your copper coins.
When you're dealing with the ghetto of the ghetto.
He went to law school and really a good head. He finally finished. They told him you have an interview with the top lawyer office. It's going to be 3 lawyers going to interview you. So once you get the job, you start with like $170,000 a year, starting the job, and you go and hire him. And he's going back and forth. Should I take off my yarmulke or not? And he's staying by the door over there, and like you could see on the camera, he's going back and forth, and then he took off the yarmulke and he said to himself, right after the interview, I'm going to put back my yarmulke. For the interview, I'll cover that, it was dressed up. As he walked in, there was 3 lawyers they're going to choose. The middle one was a guy with a white beard, a big yarmulke. So, what am I going to do now? So he took the yarmulke and put it on his head. So he said, we decided to give you the job already. Because when before we saw the way you write or this, when you have opinion, nothing bend you. You're like very strong, like a lawyer, you know, like tough and everything. So we didn't know what even to ask you because we gave you the job away. But now we saw that you're not really strong because you had a doubt and you took him the yarmulke. No. So he said, no, but I really thought like that. And I said, right after the interview, I'm going to put the yarmulke. I said, that kind of lawyer we have a lot. We don't need it.
All right, listen. The only thing you could say, it was Bashet. He shouldn't get that
He
job.
didn't get the
That's
job?
all.
But, you know, the guy was strong.
He didn't get
and,
the job.
He didn't get the job.
Where you?
I read
See
a
that?
different
See that?
version. I read a different version. I heard a different version of it. I heard from my friend Shmuel Shas that there was a boy, Yishai Shabbos, in a university that there weren't many Yidden altogether, and from Yidden even less. So they had a career day, you know, for jobs, like a job fair, and he walked around the fair. He wore a couple. He always wore a couple in university, and. You know, so you give in for the first interview, you know, you stuff and he got a thing. Then they called him back for a second interview.
He took off.
So he took it off, and then the guy told him, the reason I picked you because you work a yarmulke, and I'm looking for individualist type people, not people that just go along with everyone else. And now that you did this, I don't want
He
it.
screwed up.
So yeah. So my friend told me this, but at the end of the day, it was Mashiach. He shouldn't have the look. What I want to say from my experience
bought the yarmulke,
and
he
other
got the
people
job.
is it depends. Look, the Eibush will give a person parnasa in another job. He's going to have parnasa. It doesn't have to be this job. But I'm just saying, some places yes, and in some places no. But what Ramosha says is true. You take off your kapel, it's bad news for your Shemaim. It's very bad. I have a very from friend, I won't say his name, didn't go to college. He was a Talmud of Chaim Pinchas Scheinberg, and this is grandparents of Vision of Chassidim, and this, and he's very matzliach. He worked for my boss, and he had his own side business, very matzliach. And he once told me, he was Mamsh almost crying because we were in Midtown Manhattan, and he said to me, most of the time he always goes with a couple, but the thing is, certain accounts. He just feels when he walks in, when he gets in the elevator, they look at him, oh, the Yid is here, it's a kaifin, and he can't, but he said to me, it's no good, because if you don't wear a couple, he cut straight to it, without any local, you start making jokes with the Geisha girls. Straight, he told me straight, like this, and he's, you know, from a guy, and he felt terrible, but he felt that certain accounts he had to do it, I don't know. This is an uvda, I mean a ma'isa from a very much liach.
He has a job already, so he doesn't have to worry.
Well, he's a salesman. He didn't want to drop an account. Each account is. Listen, I don't know. Today, maybe he doesn't. You know, maybe they don't do it anymore. At the time, he told me.
My
And he felt terrible
my
about
Zed
it.
in Yerushalayim bought me a yarmulke.
What?
My Zed in Yerushalayim bought me a yarmulke when I was a kid.
Yeah,
But like a white one, looked like a Muslim one.
yeah.
Like Nachman.
Like an Nachman.
Yeah. If people, I don't know.
I'm so young.
Had a
Why you
pom-pom
touch
on
it?
it?
He said,
Yeah.
this time never gonna fall.
I don't want to keep people later if they're supposed to be meaning for Myers, but he just asked. He asked about the kippah surgas. So there's a tshuva for one of the Rishonim, the Tshuva Sadeshan. They wrote about these. They had these knitted yarmulkes that has holes. They're wondering if it's fine if it's kosher yarmulke. So the halacha it's kosher. Kippah surgas.
In Israel,
it's fine.
What about the small?
Make a title of a person.
Did anybody speak about this?
Chassid, kippah sruga,
Let's look in the 12th Maramake. Now I talk about these small yarmulkes. So there's a Shimon Shleima
What about
Kluger.
another yarmulke?
Shleima Kluger writes. He says that the yarmulke needs to cover most of your head.
I don't know.
So look in the 12th Maramake, and Rav Moshe argues with him. But look in the 12th Maramake, he says V'lochin l'maisa haris lahachmir v'lochash l'das hagoyin Shleima Kluger. Lichsei Serev Reishe to cover most of the target of your head. Shu Berev HaKlivim, which most of our hats and our yarmulkes do that. Hagdelim. Avolzina in mechuyav in lachash l'daitei. In the ikar din, you're not mechuyav lachash l'daitei. Kivin she das yochid, the befrashe hu rak v'isra mimidus chasidus.
The greatest for Moshe. Me time on it tomorrow, son.
So whatever I say, that's
That's correct.
so
today it's
there
good.
is a chumrah to wear
Big
big
yarmulke
yarmulke.
is good, cover all the balding. It's good, everybody wants it.
Also, what's the reason for wearing a small yarmulke? You're embarrassed. I don't know. I don't know. Let's go
Now,
for
I'll
the big
tell you
yarmulke.
that
What's the reason for wearing
a
a small
small
yarmulke?
yarmulke my father's brother Nathan, he lives in Renana. He used to tell me, "Small yarmulke, his mother b'miktsas." and my father was teaching dikduk. My father was showing me to say a small yarmulke, it's a dagish chayzik. Instead of dagish chayzik in Yiddish means to make fun. So dagish chayzik.
Say whatever. I say Alfie didn't could be Alfie Allah. It's okay to wear small yarmulke. I don't know why people wear small yarmulkes. They're trying to hide it. They're trying to.
No,
It's a style.
it's about a house, about fashion.
It's a style.
It looks better on them, whatever. Not because of any. And also they want to show they're more modern.
Yeah, right. I agree with you on that. Probably.
The bigger the yarmulke is, the more.
Like the Gareth see them, they wear a thing like a soup bowl, comes down to the ears. You see their ears? No, really.
Play with Hooker.
Cousin who wear, I mean, he's not a cousin.
That's how they used to all
guy.
go like that.
Yeah.
They didn't have yarmulkes, they had hats.
Yeah.
So, that's how they used to.
100 years ago, Ramesha wore a square yarmulke that stands up. It's like a hat. You ever see those pictures?
Yeah.
And all the didn't at that time. They didn't wear that.
He didn't wear that towards the end of his life.
I don't know. I can't say. Maybe it could be. That's what I'm saying. At a certain time, that was a style. That's how people looked, I guess.
That was like Warlock.
He only wore those.
Some people say that in Poland you didn't wear a hat all the time.
Only in public.
Yeah, no, there was a famous Yiddish writer. He wasn't from, but he was, and he timed that this yarmulke that we wear. He goes, in Poland was no such thing. You wear a hat. He didn't see you going. That's what he timed.
Yeah.
Kind of
Why?
There's no regular yarmulke the way we know it today.
This is what he said.
What happened in Vegas truck?
No, I'm just saying. I had a schlepp.
Let's have that for you. Renting.
I know a person there.
There was a Fabringen once. Chassid came from Russia. I saw it.
He went to YU.
And he's sitting down. And he had a casket. You know, like the Russian casket? Middle of Fabringen.
And I knew a guy that worked for him. From a guy.
Somebody gave him a hat, a regular hat.
And he didn't wear it.
So the Rebbe said,
He told them that. You know what I mean? Probably.
He would have worn.
You could stay with you a Russian hat.
Put their thumbs
No. I think it was Becky
That he had such a thing. That's all. I don't know.
And then he was looking at the casket to see inside. He has
I don't know what he
layer.
did. There is
So
some.
that was not a kissing. Because you need to sing,
It's a long
right?
story.
Not a kissing.
So there was a guy there who was not from.
You said it was the middle of the week for bringing it down.
Oh, so you were
A man
contracted.
party, and so he was a manager this guy, and he was Jewish.
Okay.
I was in my 30s. So
Then the yarmulke goes so
was an
big, like a
interesting thing.
triangle.
They got the talking.
The time goes so high, it's like.
Lived in a from community and went to